Hey guys, what's up, Nimbronies? Welcome back to the Nimbus Tattoo Podcast. We're some cool dudes, man. I'm joined here with a couple special guests today, man. We're gonna go around the table here and just give the intros. I'm here with the beautiful, handsome, and talented Mitchell. He's a cool dude, man. Mitchell, what's your at?
Tattoo breakfast.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Nimbronies. We're here with, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris House. Chris, what's your at?
Chris House _tattoo.
Great. We are joined with Ashley here. Ashley, what's your at?
Ashley Brooks 666.
That it is.
Sorry,
Edgy as hell,
Mitch.
bro.
We got Big John running the sound and the audio. He's a cool dude, man. And then we have our two new faces. We've seen Ashley's face before on here.
She was on the floor,
You
though.
sat on the floor.
I was on the floor.
You were.
I'm in a chair now.
She has her own chair,
I should
y'all.
be breaking my neck.
All right, I can't keep this voice up. We got two special guests this week. When permanent goes, and our good friend Vaughn.
Yo.
What's up, Vaughn? Vaughn, what's your app?
Official Vaughn Inks.
Make sure you go to
All
the official
platforms.
Vaughn Inks.
One only.
Don't
let
go to the
pages-
fake.
Don't let the fake pages get you.
Don't let them get you.
Don't let them.
Vaughn will be like, I'm doing a giveaway. 40 pages pop up. Don't
That's
do
true.
it.
5 seconds.
Don't
They'll
do
get
it.
you.
We're also joined with our good friend Josh. Can you see Josh in the shot?
Yo.
Josh is here. Josh, what's your app?
For now, it's opinionated otaku. Might change.
We are 100% going to do
Is
a
that how you
vote
pronounce that?
eventually.
Yep.
We're
We're gonna
going
vote
to
for
find a thing to get Josh with, and we're just
Oh,
going
damn.
we're going to have to bully him into changing
We got to
it.
haze you in, dude. That's what an apprenticeship is.
And Mitch is going to
I'm
love
so
it.
ready.
I'm going to DM everybody and be like,
Mitch is like,
don't
I
say
was
yes.
hit, so I'm going to hit back.
Something better?
So, for y'all who don't know, Josh is a new apprentice at Nimbus Tattoo.
Yay.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I'm still the resident OG, so
Yeah.
y'all know what it is.
Gang, gang.
Y'all know
Yo.
what it is.
And Mitch was the OG to the OG.
That's right.
We're 3 generations deep right now in Chris House Tat lore. But yeah, so we're all here. We got Vaughn here. We're gonna do a little know a little bit about our friend Vaughn. He's been visiting. He's been tatting.
I mean, you know me.
You know me.
You know me, bro.
You know me.
So we're gonna get a little bit of that. We're gonna tell the Talon Man story that was voted on last week, and we're just gonna kind of see where everything goes. It's gonna be a fun one. Shout out once again to Liz. Hope you are fighting the Lich King still. I don't know how long that fight takes.
That's the only fight you know from WoW. It's like
Hope he's still
25
fighting
year
him. I
long
hope
game.
it's going good. I don't know
Michael,
how. it works.
please still tell her that like 2 years from now, just every episode.
Liz killing the Lich King.
Every episode, Liz is killing the Lich King, and she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, yeah, you are.
We're going to get like
We know.
70 episodes in, and the lore with Liz is going to be so deep.
Liz, I hear she's still fighting the Lich King to this day. I did hear. Legend says. But yeah, so Vaughn, welcome in.
Thank you.
You know me.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You already know.
So Vaughn is guest spotting with us here for the next couple days. Wanted to get him on. Wanted to kind of get a little origin story, to learn a little bit about our good friend over here. Me and Vaughn are like best friends at this
Most
point.
definitely. Code red status.
Dude. So,
Code red. Code red.
Mountain Dew, bro.
sometimes you gotta,
At all times.
yeah, you gotta hit it up. But Vaughn, how did you get into tattooing?
Okay.
Give us the origin.
Okay, so it's 2010. I'm coming out of military school, and my good friend Isaiah says to me, you should tattoo. And I say to him, no.
My man.
Hell no. I do not like people. I can't service people. I don't have time for people. He says, just try it. He spends like his last dollar to get me all the equipment, and I feel like shit because, he did all that for me. So I tried it. And it was bad at first.
It always is.
It
Yeah.
was bad,
just
man.
Never starts good.
Like, hey, with no guidance, it was horrible. But I made so much money so fast, and then I just kind of kept with it. But I really started to enjoy
Man, you
it.
really just jabbing Mitch right now.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Mitch is like,
Hey,
I was broke
bro,
for
so-
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you learned the right way. So yeah, but after that it was pretty much history. I did it on my own for a few years. I got into being a shop. I got lucky. One of my friends took care of me. After that, I branched out on my own, got my own private studio. Now I'm working to get my own shop. So my villain story isn't too bad, but yeah, that's how it started.
Hell yeah, dude. Sick. I think everybody says no when they first.
Yeah.
do it.
I did.
Nobody wants
Yeah.
to do this shit, bro. Like, cause you deal with such.
It's always
bad
just like, you
people.
want to do this? Not really cool. You're gonna start tomorrow.
Mhm.
And
No, to be real with you, all the people who stick with it are the people who didn't want to do it. All the people who were like fought to be in it, they're all the ones who were like, oh man, I'm just gonna quit.
Now
I feel like that's because like if you like idealize it or something like that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you think it's like
bigger than what it
Man,
is.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get all these
Something
cool
like that.
chicks, bro, and I'm gonna make so much fucking money, bro. And it's
Yeah.
like, you're gonna be tattooing Goku on dudes' legs, bro. It's not glamorous.
No,
Yeah,
that's-
we doing
the dream,
interviews,
dude.
y'all.
Like,
There's
Make
some
sure y'all
dude.
stay on the live. Show love.
There's some dude named like Edward who got picked on. He's like, I'm gonna change my name to Ty Furious, and they're gonna respect.
dude, shouts out to Ty Furious, bro.
And they probably fucking love him too.
They probably do. They're
They
like,
love
damn.
him.
hey
I
Josh, I
don't
have a
love
name
this.
for you.
Oh, write this down.
What you got?
Ty Fury.
Ty
Ty
Furious.
Furious tab.
Bro, that'd be sick.
I think I've brought
Hey,
this
y'all
up
on the
before.
live, y'all can ask questions too.
Yeah,
Everybody
please do.
tuned in,
Yeah, please do.
ask
Oh,
whatever
for,
questions y'all have about
For
the
people who are
topics.
watching at a later date, Vaughn is live on TikTok. Go follow Vaughn
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
on everything.
What's your TikTok?
Almost 60K on TikTok.
It's still official Vaughn.
Yeah,
Inks.
official Von Inks.
With a Z.
With a Z. The Z makes it cool.
The Z makes it cool, and that shit's
Best
stuck.
believe that.
Best believe, you know me.
You
Yeah,
know me.
Hey,
Shit.
trying to tell you. Hashtag you know me. We here.
Hashtag you know me. So yeah, that's how Vaughn got into it. I guess we should do a little origin on Josh while we're here.
Yeah, might as
You
well.
want to save it for next week? We feeling a little froggy.
Oh,
We
go
here.
for it.
Jump in,
Day
Josh.
2, Josh.
I don't
Day
even
2.
know what my origin story is being written right now, honestly. So, yeah, it just started. Literally today was my second full day in the shop. It's been great. Only made a couple mistakes, but no, it's been a lot of fun. Everybody's been awesome. I told Vaughn already. I'm glad he was here for it. It's been great. I love it, and I'm sure I will have a lot more to say once I learn more. But as far as just how I ended up here, I just moved here from Florida, basically dropped everything in my life and moved up here with a guy that I didn't know, thanks to John. John introduced me.
Shout out to Scott. He's living with Scott,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yo, if y'all remember the guy who was on the couch on the last episode,
Last 2 episodes. bro.
that's Scott.
That's
Scott,
my
bro. He's
roommate.
living with Scott.
You've seen him more than I have, honestly. So, but yeah, no. So it's been exciting, and I really can't thank Chris enough. But I'm excited to be here more.
Thank you.
I think it's good to start an apprenticeship with a guest because, like, I started with one.
Yeah,
Josh started with one. I had Wade on my first day.
sweet Wade.
Poor Mitch.
I like. Oh,
And Mitch was like,
Mitch.
I just had fucking regular people. Like,
oh man. Yeah.
Tell everybody else to watch too.
I saw on Josh's story he had this like it was just like your legs. You were sitting on the floor like in front of your TV.
Dude, I have
like,
no, I have
life
no
is wild.
furniture. I've got no TV. I brought my projector with me, and I've just got a mattress on the floor that's hard as bricks.
hell yeah.
And I've got my projector and no internet, so I got my Blu-rays of Cowboy Bebop. And
Hell yeah.
that's what I'm doing. But honestly, I just passed out. I was at the shop so long yesterday.
Yeah. But hey,
My bad, bro.
you know what?
My bad,
We
bro.
got a
You know
desk.
me. I'm a
What?
late. I'm a
Yeah.
late.
So we have that
starter.
desk for you.
It's facts.
Oh yes, I got to take that home. Yeah, that'll be my first piece of furniture in the house.
So for everybody that thinks it's easy to tattoo, listen to what he's saying. We all started off broke.
Yeah, you got. I'm fucking living with Chris right now. Like,
That's true.
broke as a joke. Mitch
Times
was living
is
with
real.
Chris right.
No, it was.
Shit is hard.
Yep.
You're
But
like the foster home for
Imaginary
I-
friends.
I-
Yeah.
I really
man.
didn't want to
Delinquent
say that, but I
tattoo.
thought that too. I was like, damn, Chris really puts everybody in the house. That's so cool.
I'm trying to help people.
Yeah.
It's
Grown
really
up.
Chris's house.
Bro,
He does.
Hey.
He can be like, "Are you fucking drawing? Gotta be drawing."
I'm knocking on your door. What you doing in there?
what you
man?
doing? I
want
got the light
breakfast?
box out, Dad. I swear. Chris picks up the microns. They're dried out. Who gave you these? What are these? I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't know. But
So
yeah,
what do y'all want to talk about first?
that's
Go
where
on.
we're at. Well, let's hit because we got Ashley. We can talk about everybody's second most wanted to hear story from New York City, the Talon Man.
Yeah. So do you want
I'm saying, can somebody give me a backstory on this, please?
Yeah. So we talked about it last week, but we went to New York because I did a guest spot at Soho with Michaela Botten.
Yeah.
So while we were up there, we all got COVID. It was a bad time, but
Got food poisoning as well.
we got food poisoning.
Y'all
But
did.
we had like 4 different stories that kind of all happened,
Yeah.
and we told one of them last week.
I
We
put
had
up a
people-
vote.
Yeah, we had people vote. So I guess the lore of it is like all this shit happened on this one. On this. For anyone who saw that, right before the podcast, we were like, "Don't hit the table."
I didn't. It
Ashley
was my
hit her hands.
Yeah, you trying to clap hands on the table, bro?
Boy.
I see you.
Oh
So,
my God.
You know me.
You know me.
You know me.
So Ashley started to feel sick, and so we were all kind of like lost. And then we got on the train,
Damn.
and Ashley got us on the wrong. And we don't blame her for it because like we all would have gotten lost, but we got stuck on a train going the wrong way in New York for like an hour.
We made it all the way to Queens.
Okay, it was not an hour.
It was 45 minutes. Okay.
No, it
It
was like
was.
fucking 30.
Ashley.
Like, okay.
30 minutes in New York time is an eternity.
That's fine.
When I have
But-
a man trying to punch his friend in the chest.
I'm just gonna say, if it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't have any of these stories.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not-
no, we're
I'm
okay
thanking
with
you.
it. You're getting defensive, bro.
God, bro.
You know me?
We're okay with it.
Number
So-
11. Let's get it.
You know me.
Hey.
So anyway, we had the whole situation with the guy who's like, if I punch my friend in the chest, he's dead.
He's
Like we talked about that.
fucking dead.
If
So
I punch him, I kill him.
if
Kill
he's
him.
shorter
I
than me,
know.
If he's shorter than me, it was exclusively if he was shorter or if he was Caucasian.
yeah,
He
that's
could
true.
kill two people, white people and short people.
So yeah, just say white,
The
bro.
conversation's
We've already been
private.
here.
Mitch,
We've already been here, bro. We've
Shout
already
out
been
to
here,
Mitch,
bro.
our short king.
Short king.
Yeah, Mitch. Mitch,
I don't
tell
know
him
what
you
I
have
did
a
to y'all,
beautiful
dude.
face. Don't let him play with you like that.
There's gonna be so
So-
many people on the internet that's like, bro, he
damn,
must be
we call
so
Mitch short. He
short, bro.
starts getting undressed. Like he's about
Yeah.
to fight.
No,
Show him the
Mitch
money,
is
Mitch.
that shirtless.
Show him the money.
Flex it
No.
out. Show what Brett's doing for you.
Yeah.
Nah.
So we get on the subway. We are lost. We make it all the way to Queens. We have to go back the opposite direction, like 7 stops.
Yeah.
And
That's
we
how-
hear,
That's how New York works.
we
That's how
hear.
New York works.
So we're sitting there waiting for the train to
To
go
go back
the
Yeah.
other way because they're like getting it ready and they're like, we will be leaving in 5 minutes. And we're like sick.
Yeah.
And we hear from on the because we're next to the stairs. We hear.
So everyone's looking around.
And everyone's like, what the
everyone's
f-
confused.
Like,
There's a
what's-
dude. There's a dude coming down the stairs, like looking up,
Yeah,
horrified.
we see people like coming down the stairs. They're like looking back, scared. They're like, "What is happening?"
I just want to add that when you first hear it, you can tell that it's like at a far distance.
He's far
Yeah.
away.
And
Yeah.
then like 2 minutes later,
You hear,
but louder.
but it's slightly closer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it-
so we feeling like we're in a horror movie right now.
yeah, but the thing is, so we're just
Shit's
at a-
real.
We're at a dead stop because
Yeah.
we're
We
waiting.
can't go anywhere.
Yeah, they're waiting for the train to be cleaned, and
Did
they're
the
like,
lights flicker?
no, but they'd be like, the doors are closing in like 2 minutes, and so you're
Yeah.
like, you're just
So-
like waiting for the clock to run out. You're like, please let the door close.
So this
We sat
man,
there for like 10.
this man descends the full staircase, and he is just homeless. I'm gonna say
Or-
without home.
Without a home.
Without shoes?
He
This
does
place-
not have shoes on, no socks, t-shirt, shorts, small handbag,
Very
Thugging.
dirty.
very dirty.
Fuck
Like looks like he walked through a fire to get there,
Yes.
and
What-
his knees don't
Yeah,
work.
It was like
What does that mean? I need you to elaborate.
His-
It's like silt.
His
It looked like
feet-
silt. It was like on his foot, and like it went
like
up.
no, not just his foot, but like his
His
legs,
up to his like his
arms,
ankles and
like-
shit was
Okay.
like
Yeah.
dirty.
All right.
Like if you had like walked outside and it just rained and you like stepped in. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to get you to talk to the mic.
You gotta get in the mic.
Well,
So he descends and we see him and he's screaming and we're like, oh fucking great.
But
So
you
he passes our car and we're like, sick. We dodged the bullet. We hear him scream. He's like, ah! He's going down the hall and we're like, sick. He didn't get on our train. We've dodged it. We have made it work.
then we hear from like at the very end of like this like specific train stop, like all the way to the end of the wall, as far as you get, we hear him scream down there. And I'm like, great, he's far away.
He's so far away.
He's so
he goes,
far away.
the doors will be closing in 20 seconds. And this man steps onto the fucking train.
right
Literally
before it
right
closes.
as the doors are like starting to close, like Screamy Man gets
Screamy
it.
Man?
Enters
Scream-
the train.
Screamy
Talon
Man.
Man.
Yeah, Talon
Screamy
Man.
Talon Man.
So we
enters
get a
the
good
car.
we get a good close look at him.
Yeah.
His feet are so dirty. His ankles are so dirty. He is just a dirty human. His toes are like almost fused together.
They're like, but they're like overlapping. It's
Man.
kind of like how kudzu looks, where
So
it
he had
starts growing
Pokemon
over
feet.
itself.
What's wrong with
Yeah,
toes that are
Pokemon
stuck
feet.
together?
No, dude, they're like
All Pokemon's feet are like this.
they're insane. Right? So it's
They are.
I'm sorry. Vaughn's like,
They are literally just like this. Like they like
But-
whoop, and that's it.
But we call him Talaman because his toenails were like growing over one another, kind of like bridges to like his other toes.
That's
To
crazy.
where it grew, and it made like a talon
like
off
a
the
single
side.
talon, like just
Yeah,
one
he
giant
looked like
toenail.
a velociraptor. You know, they're like tapping the ground and shit. They're like echolocate. He could do that.
I don't think
He
they're
was locating his
not
next victim.
echolocating. What are you?
They were talking to each
That's
other in
not
like Morse
what they're
code or
doing
something.
in Jurassic Park, bro.
It's like Morse code.
Yeah.
It's Morse code.
Yeah.
They were using Morse code.
All dinosaurs know
I'm
Morse
sorry.
code.
They're
Alright.
they're bats. Whatever. So he gets onto the train and he walks all the way down. Once again, his knees do not work. He is like walking like
So they don't bend.
they don't bend.
Oh,
What
that's
about it?
crazy.
Put it down. You're blocking the shot.
Hi.
He's talking about that camera right there.
Oh.
You're blocking, bro.
I thought you were about to spill this drink, bro. I'll see you.
That
So
would've been tough.
he comes in and he goes all the way down to the end of the train and he like holds onto the pole and he fighting video game idle animations doing this.
Mm-hmm.
He then goes in between the two cars and screams, ah! And then he comes back into our car. Quiet has hit the train again.
We probably hit like
Everybody
two
is
stops.
Everybody is looking at the ground. Nobody's looking in that direction. I have broken Chris of wanting to look at people on the subway
Yep.
at this point. Because that boy just loves to look.
Yeah, hey Chris, you gotta mind your business.
I
So
learned.
telling him, I was like, you need to,
Legit,
if
this
it does
was
not
Chris.
involve you.
Oh, we talked about it.
Thank y'all for the likes. Like I said, make sure y'all can comment and say whatever. Listen.
So, about a couple minutes past, he goes back and he comes back in. He then starts to like, I don't know if he was.
I think it was they're taking
He goes,
things.
he goes, they keep taking my things. But it's like really loud. He goes, they keep taking my things. These are my things.
Give them
You
back.
can't have them. Give them back now. And he's like getting really aggressive. And I'm like, oh shit, this is how we die. This is it.
Yep.
This is a wrap. Then he goes, women are just daft. They just want to take everything from me. No, Dad. I don't need your help. It's their fault. And we're like, yep,
You've been hurt.
this is
Women are dead.
You've
And
But
he
been
was
hurt.
he
But then
British?
he just starts hitting like these like really
he
weird
British?
No.
it. No.
Because who
But-
uses that word?
He did. He was educated, bro. It was
Yeah.
crazy. But he just starts like
Man,
it's like you just drop into like the middle of a conversation, right? So he's like, I'm a grown man. How come every time we go out, I'm buying your drinks
That was the previous
every
guy.
was the
time?
last
Was
guy.
it? Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yes.
Positive.
Damn, bro.
He was the women are daft. Dad, they keep taking my
This
things.
is this was the
Oh.
guy that was like, can't you see?
Yeah.
You're killing me.
You're killing me. And he's screaming and he's screaming and he's screaming. And then he'll go back to being quiet. And then
Drugs
he'll
are
just
bad.
start again.
Yeah.
Drugs are
My
bad.
favorite part is then he starts walking closer to us.
Yes.
And all of us are just like looking down at the ground.
But he hits this like rasp where he's like, do you have $1?
He sounds like a lot of cute song.
But he's like,
"Do you have a
yeah,
dollar?"
it's like the middle one where he's like the
Oh, bro.
emotional break. He's like, do you have $1?
Oh my god.
Do you-
Butterflies in the sky.
He's like,
I need like twice as high.
can you spare
I
one?
would have lost it.
But he
You're,
opens
like,
up the
looking
bag.
at Chris.
He like opens up the bag. He gets like right. I'm like looking dead into the raptor claws, and he's like, and I just see the bag open. He's like, do you have $1?
Do you have one?
I would have gave him a fucking dollar.
Hey,
And
we're
you
all-
bro, you just hear him just like.
I would have just.
So he passes us. He goes into the other train, and we just hear him into the distance.
It was crazy. So he was pretty wild. Now we forgot to put up a poll about this part, but this I think is Ashley's favorite. So we're gonna tell this real quick.
Oh
Before we move on.
shit.
So we think we're clear. We're finally clear of like all the crazy people.
Yep.
And we're at the very end. And these like 3 frat guys and frat girls all kind of like.
Bro, your timelines
What?
are all
This
fucked
was the
up.
first night
Was
we were
it?
in the city.
Bro,
Yes.
look, we all got sick. I have no idea what happened.
So the first night we were in the city, the first subway
No,
ride with all
Reese.
3 of us,
Hello.
these 3 frat guys and these like 2 girls get into the car.
Oh, okay.
There's one of them who is very drunk.
Is this
and
like an Uber or just like?
No,
This is the
we're in
subway.
Oh, okay, I heard it.
Michael, I need you to stand up.
Yeah, he
And-
will.
yeah,
He
Okay.
will.
he is holding a bag
We get
full of
live visuals,
loose
y'all.
cans
Going
of
crazy.
Bud Light.
Podcast.
A literal bag
Yeah.
of them. Vaughn's like trying to show. So
see
they
that.
all approach in. They get in. My man is leaning My man's leaning on the door of the subway, just like. Like he's out.
And Michael's right in the splash
I am right in
zone.
the spot. Like I'm a front row at a Gallagher show, and he's about to hit that damn watermelon.
Oh, Chris, Reese said what's up. Who? Reese, the one that was with me the first time.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
So, he's right there. He is gone. None of his friends are paying him any attention. But the moment they do,
Reese,
my
they
man's
alive.
soul comes
Ask
back into his
questions.
body. He's like, yeah, guys, yeah, this is great. And then
Yeah.
they turn around. He's like,
He like sinks back.
Oh.
Dude, he starts hitting those like weird bursts where he's like,
Like, I'm about to
He's
let
right
it
on the
go.
Oh,
cusp
yeah, and
of
Michael's
losing
like-
everything.
I'm looking in the
contents
eye of
his
the
stomach.
demon.
now.
So they're with this other guy.
Yes. Now, this is my favorite part.
This is Christopher, and then I have
So-
a secondary part.
Yeah,
to it.
so the guy that's with them, he
Not the drunk guy with the bag full of Bud Lights.
No, this is just like stock white frat douchey guy, right? Just like
Default white.
you
human.
picked him right out of like Kappa Beta whatever the fuck. And he literally
Keith,
just like
Craig, whatever.
yeah, he's Craig. Yeah.
Sure.
So he's just chilling there and like he like looks at his phone and
Thank
he just
you,
like
Bree.
turns and starts like talking on the phone,
He didn't even talk. He was just like,
but he just kind of like puts his phone down and goes, "Bro. The girl I ghosted, bro. She called me."
And they're all
As they should.
And he's just hitting like the hard, like the lip is sunken. He's like, it's her! And all the girls are like, oh shit!
So like they're hyping up. The dude comes back to life. He's like, "Whoa, it's her! This is great!" And then they turn around. He's like, he goes back in.
Whatever he took, I want 3.
Bro,
My man was on a
crazy.
different planet.
So then I guess like the girl at
So-
this point has now noticed that,
We are all looking at this man.
yeah, because
And she pushes the other people aside and goes, "Chris, get it together, Chris. Everyone on this train right now knows that you're the drunk one. Everyone knows it." And he's like, "Bro, what? I've never been like drunk in my life. This is such an insult to me." And she's like, "Everyone here, Chris, is saying it.
and
Everyone's
everyone
thinking it."
is just the three of us because she
Yeah.
makes
That's
eye
so
contact
crazy.
with
She is
us
looking me
three.
in my soul.
she's like, everybody's thinking the same thing. There's one drunk guy, Chris, and it's you.
And it's you. And he's like, "I'm not even drunk, bro. What are you talking about?"
It was a theater kid moment.
He kept leaning on that door, and I'm like, "Bro, I want that shit to open,
I have
and
a
I want him to fall out."
We were one stop away,
God.
bro.
Wait, Vaughn has a question.
Why the fuck did nobody record this shit?
It's in New York, bro. You just don't.
Bro, what? Says who?
That shit happens every day.
Yeah,
I'm just-
like
I
that's
don't know,
more
man.
reason.
I
Free,
really
free
don't
content.
know why we didn't record
Free content.
literally any of this.
Get it together.
Free
Get it together,
content.
Chris.
Yeah.
Can you
So
give the audience a visual, like a stand-up visual?
Oh, they can
of
see.
him leaning on the thing.
Oh, they can
no,
see.
no, of the girl.
Oh yeah,
it's my favorite.
It's a
part.
full
Oh,
body thing. It's a.
It's
Oh,
a
it's
full-
about to go crazy.
All right, guys. Michael is
All right.
standing up.
see me in the shot, John?
Get a little closer to us.
Michael is now standing up. He's
Yeah,
posing.
So
Move the chair.
Oh yeah, damage control.
There you go.
you see it. So she's in the subway car, and she's looking at Chris, and she's like, "Chris, get it together, Chris. Everyone in here right now is thinking you're the drunk one." And Chris is like,
Bro, what?
Yo, and
No.
we hit like a turn at one point too in the subway.
and this man is like,
He's like grabbing the pole, and the girl is like still doing the hand motions with like one hand on the pole, and she's like, "Everyone, get it together!"
"You're the drunk one."
It's the Michael
This is
Jackson
you.
hand cross.
Oh yeah,
The Michael Jackson
it was
hand
sick.
cross.
Do you want
Oh
let
my
sprinkles
God.
up,
Oh yeah, again.
Oh my god.
dude? It was so sick.
Oh god, I
I
love New
loved
York
it.
so much. Chris is like, I'm never going
I
back.
hate it.
Oh yeah, I hate
Really?
Dude,
You
it's
got
the
3
worst
good
place.
stories, 1 trip.
We got
Yeah.
4. Technically, we had the breakdancers enter the car.
Yeah, you guys didn't even tell that one. I mean, that's.
We can just
I
tell
don't
her
know.
real quick. It's not
Are
that
we
long.
gonna tell other man too?
Which one?
Chicken man.
Chicken man.
Uh,
Ashley loves the
So
chicken.
you just
Oh,
named
okay.
him such and such man as the situation's like fit.
huh?
What?
And like you guys just named him such and such man.
Hey,
as
you
the
know
That's
me.
that's how we
Yeah,
refer to
you know
people.
me,
They're
bro.
like,
Bro.
You know
I
me.
Yeah,
mean, that
alright,
was
here.
about, like 6, you know me. So
Yeah.
All right, here. I can tell the chicken one really fast.
Chicken man's great.
So the whole time all this shit
I'll
is going
give
down.
visuals.
Yeah. So the whole time that all of these situations on the train have gone down, this one dude has been present for like fucking all of it, and he's just this
He
dude.
lives
He's
there.
sitting to the left of me,
He lives there.
And the whole time, he's just straight chilling, slumped back. He's got this look. He's like, but he's always side eyeing. He's like,
He's in it.
right. And this man just has like a bag of chicken, and he's dissecting it.
Chicken biscuit, I think.
But he's dissecting it like this
Right.
on his chest,
My man had surgical precision.
and he's looking through it, and he's like,
Was it a drumstick?
I don't know.
It
But
was,
he
a,
just
it was like a chicken biscuit.
he like
It was,
full-
like a
it was a raccoon ankle.
yeah. He was straight like going down to like the knuckles. He'd be like,
Dang-um.
and then but he'd pick through it, and the parts that he didn't like, he'd be like,
And he'd throw it on the ground.
he would throw it on the ground. He like take these like little bottles and like take like shots and just like swish it and just spit it on the floor.
Yeah, he lives there.
Yeah,
it
that
was
was his house.
crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. But he just didn't give a fuck. All this stuff was going
Yo,
on. and
Tori,
he-
what's up?
he is just picking through it, dude. It was awesome. So like all the shit's going on. You just Talon man screaming.
So
you just look
when
over.
Talon Man exits the car,
Yeah.
these two men emerge with a boombox that's literally like
Game time.
this big, and they're like, "What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, New York?
Game time.
We're about to fucking dance in here. Let's turn this shit up!" And they start break dancing.
Well, one dude starts breakdancing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even like good breakdancing. He's like doing this
Yeah.
on like his arm. He's like doing like hand motions and shit.
Yeah. So he was like the hype.
His friend
Bro,
fucking killed
this dude.
it.
So you just think it's like this one insane dude trying to like make a scene, and then his friend jumps up, and
Oh, we at Chris's house.
oh yeah.
okay,
So
dude.
he like straight jumps up and does like a Spider-Man move
Thank
where he
you.
like literally wall runs above people and like
Yeah.
grabs the rails, completely does a front flip, and his arms don't move. His arms are dislocated. He does he like 360s.
And not one person decided to
Hold,
No.
no, we
So-
didn't.
so then-
Vaughn, I'm
So
sorry.
he hits it.
For the record, y'all white as hell.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
what?
Vaughn's like the caucasity in the Soko
What?
car right
Oh
now.
my god, I would have been like,
World star.
Bro.
God. And see, you understand
Just a
so
world star.
well.
But bro, he hits it and like
So much
He
content.
rides a bike down, like he grabs the pole, goes on like a full circle. He's riding an invisible bike.
in
He was
slow
a stripper
motion.
in his past life.
He was killing it.
Dude, he was great.
He was a stripper in his past
Then
life.
they
So
hit
they
the
break out a 3.5 minute routine to one song. They go, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, and they take out hats to like ask for like tips. Nobody fucking tipped them. They went to the next car.
I was going
As they
to,
should.
but like
They bailed on it so
they,
fast.
Yeah, they barely walked in our direction, and as I'm like fumbling trying to find cash, and they're like, "All right, bye," and they just like run into the next car. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the
They
fuck?
so we were at the end of the car, and so they went towards the front. So we didn't get a chance.
But yeah, I was just like, what's up, what's up? I'm like, where'd the boombox
Man,
come
so
from,
you guys were like the dry run. They did like a bunch of cars after you.
They,
Yeah.
they gave us the they were like, all right,
Oh,
were the
you guys were the
warm-up.
warm
we're
up.
gonna fill out
yeah,
the
yeah.
F3 this week.
Imagine how good it would have been on the
Y'all would've
very
stretch
last
cart.
car.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I just feel like they were like.
They were waiting for the Talon Man to leave before they started.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
was like already
That's
like,
fair.
bro, no. we
So I feel
can't
like
do
every car has a Talon man, and they're just like waiting for him to like run to the next car, and then they hit the next one.
Yeah.
No,
You don't
that
want
shit
to, you
was
can't have Talon Man, like you can't have two things in
No,
one
they
car.
know that they're the attraction.
Can you imagine what it'd be like to have women are deaf and what's up, and then like them
They battle.
collide together. Whoa.
They come around
And
to
then-
like
He starts clicking to the beat, and he's like
Meanwhile,
tapping his.
Chicken Man is like,
they come around for the donations,
And all you're trying
he
to
just
do is
puts
get
a
home
chicken biscuit.
after
All we're
work.
trying to do is get home.
That's it.
We're just trying to go to the Pokemon Center.
That's
That's
it.
all we were trying to do. But yeah, so that was New York,
women
y'all.
are deaf.
Women are daft.
Women are deaf.
What the fuck does dad mean, bro?
Like dumb.
Really? Why would you say dad?
Why
He
would
was
you say
he was
daft?
intelligent, bro.
He was educated.
Can't be too smart.
He was flexing.
He was from like 1940. He was
There
a,
it
he was a
is.
time traveler.
There it is.
Oh.
That'd be
Ooh.
sick.
That's why he was covered in soot.
That's why I was covered in soot.
Soot foot.
Damn.
Yeah.
He ran to the future.
That sounds like a disease.
Yeah, he brought soot foot.
He's-
He ran
he's got
straight,
his-
straight to the future.
My man hit 88 miles per hour on foot.
Yo. Burned it right to the
Fused
bone.
his
Doc
toes
is-
straight
Doc is-
together.
Yeah.
That's his origin story. It's
Doc is like,
You guys
he's like,
don't know it. His
Talon
feet
Man, you
is
gotta
made
get
of
to
concrete
88.9
now.
gigawatts. You gotta get through here. He's like, I can run it. Women are daft.
It's like the last
He starts
crazy
speeding up
herd.
like the road runner, just running in place.
oh man.
That's awesome.
Oh man! Shout out to the Talon Man. If y'all see him in New York City, make
You'll
sure-
know.
You'll know.
Yeah.
But if you see him,
You know
Record
him,
it.
bro.
Yeah,
Record
you
it
know
for
him.
Vaughn.
Yeah. No, for real. Somebody please record it. Please.
Daft.
Okay, I was wrong. Daft means silly or foolish.
That's too deep.
why didn't you just go? Women are silly and foolish.
That sounds stupid. I would just be like, bitches ain't shit. And kept it pushing. Like at that point,
You know me.
I would have given you $1.
just
Bro,
kept it
Vaughn's like,
pushing.
I'm not gonna mince words.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
just gonna
He's
say
from a
what I
different
mean.
All
time, bro.
decorum is out.
In the words of the
Bitches be
almighty
tripping.
Chris Brown, these hoes are not loyal. Like, keep it pushing.
Could you imagine if he said it in that voice? He'd be like, "These hoes, they're not loyal.
I would have lost it.
You're killing me.
They're killing me.
I
They
would've
keep taking
lost
my
it.
Real
thing."
G's move silent like lasagna. And you're like, oh, God.
Oh my god.
He hits me
Alright.
with that
I
shit.
feel like that would have made more sense with the "they're taking my thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying like
Oh,
these
yeah.
hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah, like-
Yeah, that would have worked.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that makes a
Alright.
little too much sense.
You wanna
Yeah.
you wanna pull up some questions?
Mitch is like, can we actually?
No,
talk
no,
about
no,
work?
no. It's just like Michael's pulling it up and
It was a work trip.
It was a work.
It
It was a work
counts.
trip.
Yeah.
I feel like I was there. I love it.
You were.
Um,
Spirit.
We're
It's
gonna
been a
hit.
wild
We're gonna hit
day.
a question.
Okay, question
From
time, guys. So
the-
if you're in here,
from
ask
the
questions.
viewers. We're gonna hit
please.
one.
Let's get it.
This one is from. I'm gonna shout this person out. Coach_Brett_Owens.
That's
Oh,
Shout out to Brett.
And
The
Brett's
best-
dad.
Yeah.
And Brett's cool dude, man.
Shout out to the intro.
Breed. Bartogus.
So Brett asked.
Wait, did you get the come through text just now, bro?
No, dude.
Stop.
Hold on, Vaughn. Let me get the siren emoji up.
Oh, let's get it.
We got him.
Hey,
Ladies
did
and
you see the
gentlemen.
dramatic pause when he read that message? He was like, "Oh shit."
Ladies and gentlemen, we got
Yeah.
him.
Let me swipe up real quick. Get back to work. Get back to work.
Hold on.
There's nothing like a come through text.
I gotta. Send,
Trying
I
to.
sent Vaughn the alert. So.
Yeah.
Question from Brett. Sweet Brett. If y'all need a personal trainer in the Peachtree City, Fayetteville area,
He is a
He is-
personal trainer.
he's the guy.
He's a nice
Um,
guy.
I do love that.
Vaughn met him today. Good
Oh
dude.
yeah, you did.
I did. He's a
Does he
nice
come
guy.
back?
Cool dude,
I
man.
didn't pick him as a trainer. I thought he'd be like a doctor. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a trainer."
I mean, he's a doctor of swallology.
Yes. He prescribed me a couple reps. You know.
Pause.
Continue.
You know me.
Pause. Whoa.
Can I get business cards?
That was one of the Anki ones.
Yeah.
I want business cards. Exactly.
They have an
Oh,
Anki
wow.
squad.
I love you.
I love you too. I want business cards that just say "You know me."
No,
That's it.
facts.
Oh, dude.
And it has to have quotes on it.
It has that. You know me.
Yeah,
And
you know me.
people are like, "Oh, I'm getting tatted by Chris." You know him.
Yeah. The one and only.
Question is, what have been your biggest obstacles getting to where you are right now?
Are we going around the table?
Yeah, we can go around.
We can. Mitch,
Hit it.
hit us.
Management. I'm sorry. No, never mind.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
I'm starting.
You already opened the door.
Hey,
you
Mitch.
opened the door.
Sorry.
Hey,
Hold on.
Mitch, tell us how
Not-
you
not
really
Chris.
feel, bro.
Here's
That
the
was a-
disclaimer.
That was a deep
We worked at a
reference.
different
That
shop.
was not Chris. I was talking about somebody.
Ah.
Totally about Chris.
Tell them how you really feel, Mitch.
No, it's straight.
Mitch is like, fuck Chris.
Word.
Yeah, no.
I can hear Mitch now. I'm getting paid like the people.
He's like,
in the
you know
house.
me.
I don't like that shit.
Unemployed.
I don't know, man. Like, God, it's just hard, dude. There's like a lot of different aspects. I think it's being patient is probably it. Like,
Yeah,
because
that sucks.
when you start, it just takes it feels like it takes forever. And I remember talking to you, like I was like 5 months into my apprenticeship, and I was like,
Same.
it's so hard. Yeah, I was like, it's so hard to imagine like a time when like shit is not absolutely horrible, you know? And he's like, man, like a year is like nothing. Like it goes by like that. And like I remember having that conversation with you. It really does feel like that. Like
Yeah.
it went by. I mean, despite how like horrible things were.
Yeah.
It was it did go by quickly, you know.
Mhm.
And things are good now, so
Dude, shouts
That's
out to
great.
things right now.
yeah.
Yeah. We're here.
They're good.
Yeah.
Chris.
What was the exact phrasing again?
Can you repeat the
Well,
question?
Chris wasn't listening. You know him.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
Because you know me.
What have been your biggest obstacles getting to where you are now?
Chris, before you answer, I just want to say reading out loud is a challenge. Okay, let's clap up for
I mean,
him.
I have a list, and I went through a lot of speech therapy,
I can't do that.
so
shit.
I understand.
You know me. Reading
That's-
out loud.
that's a
You know
fact.
me, speech impediment.
What up, sis?
Honestly, how do I want to word this? Actually doing what's right for me and not right for somebody else.
Damn, just take my answer, Chris.
That's good.
Because,
Good.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because like a lot of the time, like early on, you work at like shops and like you build like this like
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome to people who like, and you're like, man, they gave me a chance, so I just gotta like,
Dug it out.
kind of deal with it.
Yeah, nah. Fuck
And
them.
you hit a point.
Oh no.
Damn, Ashley, just
What
trying
we
to
like
give an answer.
Blink-182.
Actually,
Yeah.
just come on, Blink-182.
You said Stockholm syndrome.
You
and
know
my
her.
brain said,
You know her,
yeah.
bro. But yeah, like you always want to like pay it forward, and you end up doing it to the wrong people. So
Understood.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's a good answer.
My answer.
Fine.
Well, okay. My biggest obstacle at this point, I'm gonna say myself.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I mean, when you really think about it, you get into it. It's like all the decisions that I make to get here, it would have been a lot shorter if I just would have made different decisions.
Amen.
So you do things in the moment, and you don't really realize like the long run of it. So if I would have like asked more questions or not been so prideful or took the time to like sit around with people, you know what I mean, I would have been a lot further, a lot faster.
That was a great
That's-
answer.
that's
That was
great,
very like profound.
Really?
That was
Mine
good,
was
yeah.
profound until Ashley.
I'm like
said,
2
Shouts
for
out to
2
Vaughn.
on interviews today.
I know,
Like,
you're killing it.
this is crazy.
Tomorrow Vaughn's gonna shut the shop, bro. I don't know what's happening.
No clue.
Brain's
Lost.
gone.
But you know me.
Hey,
That's a fact.
that's a fact.
What about you, Michael?
Biggest obstacle to get where I am right now. I mean, once again, this really was my doing. Like, I was the one who stuck around from 18 to 29,
We are all scarred.
just kind of existing and not really existing with purpose.
Mhm.
Like, I was just idly floating through, like, oh, cool, I went to school. That's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, I'm doing, like, the family thing. Oh, because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Well, you were being complacent to benefit other people.
Not putting myself first.
Yeah.
So, that was
Moral
really
of the
it.
story. Fuck these bitches. Get money.
Amen. Shout out to Shauna.
These hoes
You helping me out.
ain't loyal.
Ain't loyal.
They ain't loyal.
But yeah, that's really it. Not putting
Bro,
myself in the forefront.
Yeah.
Can we get the proper spelling for Daft?
D.
AFT.
DAFT.
Daft Punk.
DAFT.
Oh, really? That's what that.
Daft Punk. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, boo.
Oh,
Silly punk.
I would
Silly
have
punk.
never had.
Foolish punk,
that just clicked for me.
if you will.
What about you, Josh?
It's okay, honey.
No, everybody here isn't a tattoo artist. We have tattoo artists, we have tattoo apprentice, and we have the missus.
Just the bitches.
We have film people too.
All right, and then we have John.
We have
Yeah.
John.
Yeah. So for me, the hardest part to get here would probably be just like fear of the unknown. Definitely like a lot of. Right now, it's just crazy. Everything is so up in the air in terms of my life. Like I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm working towards, but I just basically packed up and left my family and friends and where I've lived for like 30 years to come here. And yeah, but I think that was the biggest obstacle for me, and what I'm still like getting over is just not being afraid and just taking that leap of faith. But I will say everyone in this room, even Vaughn just this weekend, has made it a lot easier for me and has kind of confirmed my decision. So it's been great.
Him.
No, that's good, man.
Yeah.
dude.
I thought you were gonna say like an 8-hour drive.
That was rough. That was
No,
a rough
my
drive,
biggest
man.
obstacle was getting gas.
I'm gonna say I got 5 hours back tomorrow.
Just don't go home, dude.
John, is this at all applicable to you? What would you say?
What would you say, John?
Yeah, sure.
Great word choice, Chris.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Great word choice.
Women or
Um,
daft?
Can you just skip me?
Where do I go?
You care about
Hold
John.
Which way
on,
do I
bro.
go? I'll go here, I guess.
Okay, women or
Yeah,
daft?
so I don't tattoo. Obviously, that's numero uno. But yeah, I don't know. I grew up in this town that we all live in, and now I'm back here after living. I lived in Virginia for 5 years, and I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out too. I think that I'm 26. I'm about to be 27. I think that's a lot of your 20s is kind of figuring stuff out, baby.
Dude, I was telling my clients yesterday, I was like, dude, I remember being so excited to be like 20, and if I had known how awful, like, dude, my 20s, horrible,
Shit is whack.
the worst time.
They told me when I was a kid that I could do what I want, and I just thought, it was ice cream before bed. Wake up when I want. I don't gotta do shit. It's just video games and ice cream.
And then you're like,
Bills.
bills. Oh shit, I gotta pay to live here.
And then it's like
Bills,
you gotta
bro.
wake up even earlier.
What?
Oh,
know.
I thought
Yeah.
school was bad.
Oh.
Here I am waking up at 6
Vaughn's
for
like,
no
I gotta
reason.
make stencils now.
No, for no reason. It's like 6:30. I'm sitting up like, what am I supposed to do? Like, just 'cause I'm an adult, I got shit to do, right?
Mhm.
Right. It's 6:30. Go get to it. No, being an adult sucks. Don't grow up, kids. Don't
Yeah.
grow up.
Enjoy it while you're there.
Right.
My
That shit-
30s though.
That shit don't come back.
Gonna be great.
Oh, my 30s are gonna pop off, dude.
Well, I'm
Right.
already 30.
God, I
so
hope so.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ashley.
Go Ashley.
Ashley, what would you say was your biggest obstacle to get where you are right now? You'll skip me. You
I'm-
know me.
Oh
You'll
no,
skip me.
Ashley's out here.
I'm waiting for this answer. So good. I know it's gonna be.
Oh,
fire.
she's built it up now.
Yeah, I know it's gonna
it
be
has to
fire.
be profound.
She's
dude.
going for the gusto. Shoot for the stars.
Don't be deaf, bro.
Don't be bad. Give it to him wrong.
Honestly, that's a good answer though, because I was being a little silly, a little foolish. I
A little deaf.
was dabbling in some things that shouldn't, Just I'm gonna keep that broad. And
Oh
Oh,
god.
man.
Because you know me.
You know me out here
I'm
dabbling.
gonna be honest. I didn't think about an answer. I
Oh
didn't
my
really want to.
You just want to be mad to be
I'm
mad.
about to say
bro.
there's no way you were mad.
I
Didn't have
will
an
say
answer.
I
Bro,
just
that's the daftest shit I've ever heard.
I was just being silly. No. I got out of school and I was like, you know what? I'm just trying to live my life. So I just kind of floated around and did whatever because that's what I wanted to do. And then I had a kid and I was like, damn, I can't do that.
Shit
so
is real.
yeah, so that shit smacked me, and
It'll
so,
do that.
Yeah,
Quick.
it do be doing that. So you know me, I
Hey.
I do.
I got back at school, so I graduate in May. And I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, dude.
School sucks, y'all. Don't do it.
Yep, and then you got
I dropped out.
That's a fact. I dropped out with 6 classes left.
Oh yeah, dude.
Me too, man.
I dropped.
6 classes.
I
I
dropped out less than
graduated.
6 classes.
I
in.
have like $15,000 in student debt remaining, and
Really?
I didn't even finish my degree, bro. I was like that
graduated.
close.
I got,
Hey.
I got 30K
Double major,
and
baby.
149 credits. I'm
Yeah.
technically like a super senior,
Hell yeah.
and I'm not finishing.
If
Yep.
you do go to school, be a single parent. Because I get paid to go to school.
That's some
Don't
real
be
shit.
dumb and
Yo,
take out student loans.
Get the bag.
So guys, if you're
You
Yeah,
wanna really
yeah,
hear
yeah.
it? You
She's
wanna
like,
hear
look,
terrible advice?
Get knocked up. Don't talk to anyone else. Drop out of school. Get a degree. Don't
No.
use it.
Look, you want to hear
If-
terrible advice, bro? Yeah. My advisor in college literally told me to drop out.
damn.
He looked at me. He was like, "So what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I tattoo." And he was like, "So how much are you making?" So I told him at the time it wasn't like crazy number. He was like, "Yeah, you're making more money than me, and you sleep in my class and get B's and A's. Just leave." I'm like, "Bro, you're my advisor." But he was like, "Why waste your time?" That was the realest shit I've ever heard in my life.
It's so, man.
I
If
wish somebody
could-
said that to me, man.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I wish somebody would
facts.
tell
I was
me.
about to say, truthfully,
Like-
sorry, go ahead, Vaughn.
No, go
you're
ahead.
good.
You're good.
Like that's I don't know. This career path, I guess there's no real like college for it. So that what's
Bro.
up, Mitch? Mitch just lit up like
Sorry.
a candle.
I just you're just saying like there's no like college for anything like that, but it's also like a huge risk because like
Oh yeah.
I don't know, it's like
Oh yeah.
there isn't you could
A
end up with
guarantee.
there isn't a guarantee. Like you could have the worst mentor in the world and like
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah. Suck to suck, bro,
That's what I'm
like-
saying. Like I was
You
blessed
know?
as hell for him to look at me in my face like there's no reason for you to be here. I'm like, well, I mean, you're right. I was using your class for a nap.
I
but
was paying you $2,000 a semester to sleep in this room.
No.
I mean,
Schedule.
I went to college though because that's what I was told to do.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah,
guess. It's
me
like
too.
I
That's
remember
what
them
it
being like,
was.
bro, if you don't go to college, like you're
You're a
just sleep under
failure,
bridge,
yeah.
no one's gonna want you. Like that's and it's like man. Like,
And the
I
same
wanna go
people
to
I've
college.
seen that see that, I rode by one day and they were working at Krispy Kreme.
Dude,
Funniest
I got-
shit ever.
I got 2 degrees.
2 of them?
Yeah.
And what?
I got a bachelor's in criminal justice and a bachelor's in psychology.
You smart motherfucker.
And if you are fresh out of college with those 2 things, nobody will pay you any attention. They're like, oh, we need experience. Like, go get some. I'm like, well, I need a job to get it.
Bro,
They're
that
like,
makes me so
they're like, too bad,
mad.
man. You got to figure that
Yeah.
out.
That's like, I don't want to talk to you. You're a virgin. Well, how the I'm supposed to not be a virgin?
How am I just supposed to
Bro,
fix that?
like, you want me to do all this? I don't even know what this is. Like, Give me something.
But
first.
yeah, I would be like, cool, I want to do this. They're like, we require 5 years experience. I'm like, cool, can I get an entry level? They're like, this is it.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
like,
gonna say like
cool.
I didn't go. I dropped out of college with like a couple credits left before I got my AA. Yeah, for real. But my point, I was just gonna disagree with Mitch. Sorry, Mitch. But like, I didn't finish college, and I make a really good amount of money doing what I do right now. I hate it, which is why I'm doing this. But you definitely don't need to get a degree to make good money.
100%.
If anything, like I
that
have.
shit is a piece of
No,
paper.
to be
Yeah.
clear, I was saying you shouldn't. That was what I was told.
Oh yeah. Well, then we're on the
that's
same
not
page.
my opinion.
So
It's like not to like be the thing here, but Mitch, you're wrong.
No,
I'm
Josh
gonna
is
say
like,
the exact same thing.
don't listen to Mitch. No, I'm
So everyone in the room agrees. Don't go to college. I'm just
Don't
kidding.
do
I'm just
Hey, no,
kidding.
college is a
No,
scam, bro.
I was gonna
It's a
say
scam.
because I mean, I'm going to a technical college, so
YouTube
I'm not like
University.
college, but I'm going into like the medical field, and everybody tells you like, oh, medical field, so respectable, blah 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 blah, you know, and I mean, it sucks.
Yeah.
And I will never make anything close to like probably anyone in this room, like, and that is a sad reality of
And
it.
you save lives, like low key, like you.
I don't say that.
like, no, like,
Kinda.
No,
being in the position that I've been in a situation where like literally the nurse saved my life. Like the doctor did surgery, but like 5 seconds later.
Shotty, I just take pictures. I'm like, oh, you put
She's
what
like, I
up
can't even-
there?
I can't
let
even
me
tell you what
let
the-
me
what
see
the
that
picture
right
is.
quick. No, literally, it'll be like someone's arm is broken,
Yeah.
and then like they're like, is it broken? I'm
Wait,
like,
the camera
I
fell?
cannot tell you that.
What?
What fell?
No, it's just a can.
Oh.
I knocked my can over. Yeah, I gotta get it. Anyways, I was just gonna say my only
Leg
time
injury.
I would say to go to college is if you know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the record. Oh, go ahead, John. I didn't cut you off earlier.
No, it's all good. Yeah. So like what I'm doing in this room right now, I did go to school for, like kind of adjacently, I guess. But the reality of that is like I went to film school. So film school is like, sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to land to like BC. There we go. So like film school for me was the big thing with film school is networking and like building your contacts and that sort of thing. And there is some reality to that. Like a lot of my classmates, I say a lot, like a handful of my classmates that actually I ended up being pretty good friends with are really successful doing some big stuff, which is really cool. But like I've got a family. Like I was married when I was doing my senior year, and I was like, I don't want to be working. I was telling Vaughn earlier, like I don't want to work 13-hour days on set and never see my family. That sucks. Like that's awful. So when we moved back to Atlanta, the goal was to basically do that essentially and get paid nothing to do it. Also, like literally peanuts, just to be on like a Marvel set or something. And I ultimately ended up like doing a bunch of video stuff for a church, which we've talked about before, but like that's my full-time gig. And then I do this to like stay sharp and keep myself creative and that sort of thing. But yeah, I my wife and I talk about it frequently. Like I'm never going to push my son to go to college. Like I'm going to
Not a
ask him
chance.
to learn a trade.
Well,
first.
you know, like I don't really think that, like, just to clarify, like I don't think that going to college is inherently bad. I think that doing anything when that is not what you are meant for, or like not what you want to do. Like I don't think you should tattoo if you don't like to draw. This job sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Because like I tattooed yesterday like twice. I went home, I drew, and I did that until I pretty much worked from like 9 a.m. to like 12 last night. But I liked it. I had fun drawing, and it's not always like that. But like if you don't like that kind of thing, that sucks, you know. And if you don't like to, if what you're going to school for isn't something you're actually passionate about, or that you care about, or that you think you'd be good at, then don't go.
So
you know,
you would recommend more like trade school?
I think it
Dude,
depends.
learn how to be a plumber.
I
Learn how to
think
fix an AC unit.
If you want to take pictures of stuff for like radiology, then like go to school, you know. But if you want to like tattoo, then find a good place and do an apprenticeship.
I'm gonna
or,
be
like,
honest with y'all. I'm just interested in the weird shit that people put in their bodies.
If you're into the weird shit, go to school.
If you are like, hey, I want to be an electrician,
Yeah, go to trade school.
make that money.
Electricians make
You want to be a
Yeah.
AC guy? You want to be a mechanic?
Dude.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Not that you shouldn't ever go. That it's bad. It's just like don't just do something because your mom or dad is like
Yeah, like
Gotta do it,
I
bro.
go to
Like-
college and like I wanted to be a music teacher,
Uh-huh.
and then they dropped the music program
Bro,
halfway through the
what?
semester.
Because
What? I just could not see you as a music teacher.
Yeah, so I want to be a music teacher. They dropped the program, and I couldn't go to another school. This is the school. I'm like, cool, I'll be an English teacher. They got rid of that one too. So I'm like, what do I do? And they're like, well, we offer psychology
You
and
should
we
teach
offer
them how to keep
we
track.
offer criminal justice. I was like, cool, I'll do both of those because if one of them goes away,
you're good.
I have the other one. I had no interest in this, but my mom was like, you got to get the piece of paper.
You'd be a killer youth pastor though, bro. That's your
Hey,
call.
what's dude, I would do it. What's up, Deuteronomies?
What's
Oh my
next?
God.
We got-
Bars. I would have never thought of that.
Yikes. That was, yeah.
This is a tattoo question. This is a good one. This is the only other question we have. So,
What?
I was saying good for a tattoo question.
We've been here.
Yo,
chatting.
we are a tattoo podcast.
did you know?
Sometimes.
Tips for gap fillers. I find it tough trying to sleeve someone up with older work.
This is where you get me, because I hate gap fillers.
Just get a mouse.
All right, so
Get clouds like everybody else.
cloud
Dude,
my
oh
shit
no.
out.
No.
Yo, you want that South Carolina sleeve?
That's
Hit me
South
with the,
Carolina
Oh my
sleeve.
hit me with the
God,
cross,
man.
the praying hands, the name of someone who recently died, some rosary beads,
One dove.
one dove,
One dove.
and
That's all.
cloud my shit
Cloud.
out.
Cloud it up. Top to bottom.
Oh my god.
Throw in an 803 butterfly.
That's
Put
it.
in the.
That's it. I'm trying to tell you. I cannot stand fillers. They're
Yeah,
hard.
gap fillers composition
Well,
is hard.
Do you want to start with that then? Because
Yeah.
you have more experience than I
Yeah,
do.
for sure.
Fawn hates it, so.
So here's my thing, right? The question is phrased by asking about gap fillers with tattoos that I guess they did not do, right?
Correct, with older work. Yes.
That's tricky because a lot of the times you run into situations where people didn't plan their shit at all, right? So you could be like, oh, there's like this portrait next to this trad tat, next to this lettering. At that point, doing gap filler, it's like, what are you even filling between, right? There's no
Yeah,
kind of
there's no
consistency, right?
Rhyme or reason to this.
So at that point, I would just keep it separate, to be real with you, because there's nothing to really tie it together.
You're not going to throw background around the whole
It's
thing.
never going to look consistent because you didn't plan it whatsoever.
Negative space.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
negative space it out.
Now, with that being said, with doing fresh tattoos, what I do, I was talking to my client yesterday about this, and I've talked to Mitch about it in great length, and I've talked to Michael too. If you're doing a sleeve, right? Let's just say an arm sleeve, right? My philosophy is no matter what angle you look at it, you should be able to see one full piece. Okay? So with that in mind, there's very little filler work to be done, right? So if you're looking at the front of someone's forearm, there should be a full piece. If someone's just standing casually and you're looking at them from like behind, you should see the entire back of a forearm piece. There should be something on the tricep. If you're looking at someone from the side, you should see like a half sleeve. So as long as you build something with that in mind, there's very little gaps. So what I generally do is with my anime stuff, I always do my backgrounds with very neutral colors, like grays or like muted pinks, something to that effect, right? Because no matter what you decide to put beside that tattoo, you can stomp right on top of it and get as close as necessary. And then the filler in between is just like a muted color to where you don't have skin tone. So that's how I approach it. I also do not put any like important piece on any like hard to tattoo areas. So like an elbow or a knee, right?
Yep.
Right.
If I'm doing like your arm or your leg, I will just do two pieces that are really big, and I'll leave like very small gaps to where it's just like background color, or I'll do like an added element like lightning or fire or something just right through that gap, right? Because then if it doesn't heal well, there's not a face there. If it doesn't heal as well or you have to touch it up,
If it hinges,
it's
yeah.
not that big of a deal. If you just have like a big thing, like Ashley has like that big Kakashi I did on the top of her thigh, like it hits like the top part of your knee.
Yeah.
Right? And so I haven't done the under part of that tattoo. But when I do that, I'm gonna run it. Yeah, you can.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, you can if you want to.
I don't know if that helps.
For
Yeah.
those of you that are like listening, Ashley's just standing up.
She's
for the
standing
camera.
up. She is
Yeah.
showing us the Kakashi.
You want to stand?
Oh,
Just stand on this.
I really don't.
Hold my hand.
Ashley doesn't like
Trust
heights.
moment.
So it comes like if you look at this, it's like most of her knee,
It's
right?
up to the knee.
So when I do this, I'm gonna bring it up like the main part of this, all the way up to here.
Mm-hmm.
This little bit that's right here, that's either gonna be like a light trail or lightning or something small.
Like the cherry blossom.
Yeah,
petals
you're
or
just it's a
something.
fill
Yeah.
like you just do like something that's already pre-existing. You can come down. Like
Not the primary subject of the tattoo.
yeah, like you, it's like
it's
in-
a filler for.
yeah, it's
was
an
it?
added element, but it's not filler in terms of like it's something new. It's a continuation
Yeah.
of something that's already existed.
It's not like a patchwork trad thing where you're like, I'm putting a piece of barbed wire here and we are snaking it through. It is.
no, it's
Yeah.
if you have a light trail somewhere else present near it, just use that same color. If you did cherry blossom petals in a tattoo, even remotely near it, bring that element over because then it's just connective.
And it looks
Yeah,
cohesive.
yeah. So you're going for like a level of like cohesion, and you're going for a level of flow. So just like as long as things are like pulling in towards the body, you can pull an element from like up here and put it down here, and then that creates flow. So that's how I kind of approach it.
I have some good like thoughts and stuff too. Like a lot of it that I've actually learned from you. Like black and gray, which is like most of what I do, is a lot easier, I think, in general to sort of like fade into things. Because I mean, I could just take elements of the background that are black and just sort of like whip them out into something, or do some like stippling or something. But I remember having a conversation with you a long time ago. Because when I first started tattooing, I'd have people that come in and be like, "Hey, can I get some gap filler between these like two pieces?" Right? And sometimes the things I was going in between looked like shit. Right? They'd be terribly done. And I'd be like, well, man, like if I like really try to like crank up a design or like do something with it, like it's gonna look really out of place. Like maybe I should like not like pull punches on something, but like I shouldn't try to like do something crazy, you know? And Chris was like, you should never like almost like hold your design hostage by the stuff that's around it. Like always just like it just kind of that is what it is. Like you have to find a way to do the best with what you have in that piece. Even if it's just a gap filler and it's like small, it should be as good as it possibly can. And like sometimes someone does have a tattoo where they have a really great one and the other ones kind of suck. And that doesn't mean they're not tied in properly, but that can be like a little weird, you know?
Yeah, like don't hold your design back to try to compensate for someone else's lack of ability.
Yeah, because that can feel weird. It feels like you're like it's a weird juxtaposition or something where things aren't like quite like they don't mesh super well if it's like 10-year-old tattoo or
If
something.
someone-
I was
you
gonna
know?
say yeah, go crazy.
Juxtaposition.
If somebody comes
Yeah.
to you and they're like, I want you
You
to
don't
do
have
this tattoo, you should do that tattoo no matter what to the best of your ability. And if it so happens to make the design next to it look like trash, that's not your fault.
I'm gonna say this because it'll sound arrogant if Chris says it. There are so many times that I'll see somebody come in with some anime work and like, not that like doing anime tattoos is like super new exactly, but like there are people that maybe did one like 5 years ago and they'll do a character that's like, you know, the face is like 2 inches.
I was the king of that in like 2017.
Dude, shouts out to
People
Vaughn.
didn't really know back
No,
then.
I'm
though.
You know
so
him?
sorry,
You know?
everybody.
And like there'll be someone come in and be like, bro, I got this like tight Goku here and it's like
2
this
inches.
big. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
I mean to me I look at him like yeah, like tight. You know, like super
That's
cool.
Goku,
And
alright.
Chris will go in and he'll just do some like I mean it'll blend into what the guy has and like it'll look really good, but it makes the old tattoos look worse. Like the look
Yeah.
and there's a moment
Yeah.
where they look at the new tattoo and they look at the old tattoo and they're like,
Fuck my life.
yeah, it's like,
Like-
it's so much better, you know.
Chris
And-
was doing this thing on this this client's leg, and like we all were in agreement. Like she knew, we all
Yeah.
knew, like that thing is beat. And I was like, how close to this can I get? Because I was fitting it in between two different things, and I put it over, and Chris did the thing. She's like, like, man, this just does not look great with these other things right here. And I'm like,
but it'd be wrong to hamstring whatever he's doing
yeah,
on somebody.
like.
Yeah, she was so like by the time I did the 2 tattoos, because the 2 I did were like connected.
Yeah, I think she was like considering
She got it lasered.
she got it lasered off.
Yeah, she was like once I did the 2 tattoos that blended together, like less than a week later, she like booked laser sessions to get it lasered off, so that way I could do the back of her leg.
Which sucks because like, man, I had to fit
Yeah.
I had to fit this tattoo in between this like thing back here and then tie it into this thing. I was like, bro, like this is the worst stencil of my life right now.
Yeah, but you didn't know if she had sentimental value with that tattoo or if she loved it or something, and you just had kind of like deal with the cards that you're dealt. And then if after the fact someone's like, be honest with me, does this look terrible? Then you can tell them.
Yeah.
You know?
Just don't walk up and be like, yeah, this is shit.
Like, yeah, you can't
Yeah,
just like
don't
have them
open up
walk in the door and
conversation.
be like, I ain't put my shit next to that bull. Like, you just can't
Like,
do
look
that.
at that, bro. That thing
Yeah.
beat.
But if after the
Like, oh,
fact,
thanks,
if
I
like,
love
they,
it.
like what, yeah. But
Shit is
like Mitch
daft.
said, there's that moment, and it's like it's very bittersweet. Where like, especially when you talk to someone before the tattoo, and you'll be like, oh, like what's your favorite tattoo that you have? And they'll be like, oh, it's this one, and then you do a tattoo right beside it, and by the end of the session, they're like, oh fuck, like it clicks with them that what they had is horrible. You know?
Especially in comparison to something that's done like correctly or like really well or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that's not a gap filler answer exactly, but like I just was thinking about it
No,
while you were
but
talking about
Oh,
it.
it's totally a thing though.
No, but
I mean,
yeah, I would call it a gap filler thing because like you're basically filling the space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I mean, gap filler for me, like that can be a number of. That's not always just this tiny like little space. It can also be like if you have like 2 anime tattoos, even like you can have this weird like V shape or something that's like
Yeah.
really small in between some like other stuff. You have to get a little creative.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Do we have anything else?
That was it.
That was it.
Don't get filler stars.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you mean the
Filler stars are out, y'all.
The
old
dots and
school-
stars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Cheese
asterisk
out.
kind of things.
What?
You're talking about like the asterisk. kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
things?
that
Little
shit's out.
dots.
I actually like those.
Get something real.
If I'm being real, I actually think they're kind of cool sometimes.
You make
Unlike-
them
unlike
little
trad
sprites
patch-
instead.
I like
like
trad
the little-
patchwork sleeves. I think they're cool. But
Yeah.
Get real work.
Vaughn, was there anything that you particularly like wanted to bring up?
We can talk about what we were talking about earlier at the coffee place we were at.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
go for it.
Hit it.
I was explaining to Chris about lack of knowledge in the tattoo community, but since I am here, let's not make it a thing. The black tattoo community in general.
You know him.
Yeah, that,
No.
me. Right.
You
But
know him.
I was talking to Chris, and I was just explaining to him, like, I was grateful for everything that he taught me over the few months that I've known him. And I was explaining to him how, him teaching me different things with color allowed me to do more color on black people. Because a lot of black people think they can't get color. And the conversation really stemmed from the client I had yesterday. Great client. She came in, everybody loved her. And
She was awesome.
she literally looked up and looked at Mitch and said, like I don't think I can get color. Like, my skin will eat the color. And Mitch looked at her like she spoke in Spanish. And I agreed because, like, we don't have that knowledge. You know what I mean? The community thinks that, like, these things are out of reach. And most artists, not to say, like, y'all, of course, because I've seen your work, Chris, you do it all the time, but most artists don't tattoo black people. So, like, we see all these crazy tattoos, and they're all bright, and they're colorful, and it's like, well, you can't do that. You can't get that. We just stick to black and gray. It's what's nice. But I was talking to Chris earlier, and I was telling him he should give the knowledge. I want to get the knowledge that he gives me, but, like, just give the knowledge. Let people know that, like, it's possible. Because me, personally, I'm in South Carolina, so I know in South Carolina for a fact, there's probably, like, me and maybe one other person that could do, like, good color on black people. No, it's really wild because, like, when you look at the tattoos that, like, they ask to cover up, the tattoos that they ask to get, they're sending me stuff from, like, people from Brazil, and we're talking, like, full-on color sleeves, blue, oceans, galaxies, and stuff like that. And they're looking at me like, can you do it? And I'm just like, well, as of 6 months ago, hell yeah. But 6 months ago, hell no. And it's really just a lack of knowledge. I was talking to Chris also about, like, gatekeeping. Like, in South Carolina where I'm at, the shops, like, everybody's buddy. I mean, there's a few people who are like, hey, we'll take who we get. We like who we like. And I mean, you shouldn't open your doors to everybody, but, like, if somebody wants to learn something, let them learn. I mean, what they do with the knowledge is what they do with the knowledge, but, like, don't be afraid to give them the knowledge. As long as they're not saying I'm about to go rule the world with it, like, give them the knowledge. So I was talking to Chris about that, and I want your opinions on that. Like, what do you guys think? Have you guys heard this before?
I have, and it's such a hard subject to, like, kind of approach, because anytime I ever put up, like,
You're white,
questions,
Chris. It's okay.
The Caucasian.
Well, I just get these questions all the time, you know, and it's like weekly. I get like DMs where people just say like, "Do you tattoo black people?" And I'm like, "Yeah," like frequently, you know. And there's literal examples on my page, and I get asked all the time, and because like I'm from South Carolina also, and I remember hearing that all the time, you know. And like now that I don't live there anymore and it's been so long, like I just don't really hear it as much. I just kind of hear it like on the internet, and I just genuinely don't understand where that came from and like why it's still a thing.
If that's the question, I can really answer that for you.
Please.
Okay, so where it came from is like I said, like not we, because that's not racist, but you know what I'm trying to say. Black people felt as if though, like when you get a certain color or whatever and it doesn't heal properly, or it heals a shade darker, that is not meant for their skin. So what artists in the area would do is they'll say, well, I wouldn't recommend doing that, or I'm not doing that. It's not good for. It's not going to heal this way. You just shouldn't get color. You're too dark. And I have heard this year in at least 20 some odd cases, people telling me like, you know, this person told me I was too dark. This person told me I shouldn't get this. Trying to think of the last one I did. I think it was the Shigo tattoo I did. Loved it.
Nothing went in, dude.
Yeah, it was big on TikTok. Everybody loved it, but there was a whole like debacle on TikTok because it was like, you know, why is she brown? And I'm like, well, you do know that like her skin is brown, so like I'm not gonna shade in a peach tone or a foundation tone on somebody who's like literally one step away from Akon. And that's not to be disrespectful, but like she knows she's dark because when she approached me, she said to me, Vaughn, I'm dark. And the artist who I went to specializes in black and gray, and he's a good artist. I know him personally, but she was like, I don't feel like he can do this. And I've seen what you've done recently, and I want to take a chance on you. So to me personally, I was first upset because, like, you know, the first thing you think is like, I'm doing something wrong, but I still want to try it. And then I was then gratified because you came to me to try it. Long story short, the tattoo looked great. It healed great. I owe Chris a lot of things because right before that tattoo, he had talked to me about color packing and toning down, like taking a color that's brighter, letting it heal so it can heal normal. So instead of doing like green, I'm doing light green. Or I'm mixing down to make a lighter green. And that lighter green is going to heal green. And that's exactly what it did. So, like, people just feel like, black people feel like it's just not something that they can do. And it's not necessarily true. It's just a matter of knowledge. You know what I mean? So if more people were willing to give the knowledge, even the artists in South Carolina clearly don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
So if more people were willing to give the knowledge, I feel like it would be a bigger pool. And shout out to Peanut. I hope you don't mind me shouting him out.
No, shout him out.
Shout out to Ink by Peanut. Hokage Senpai is what I call him. It's a joke we have. But shout out to him because he's been trying to give this game to everybody for like the last year. And people take him for a joke. They think like, oh, you're just trying to get views. You're just trying to do this, that, and the third. But in reality, he has like a whole program that you sign up for. He sends you links and everything. He explains color theory. And he explains what works and like why you should use these type of needles and et cetera, et cetera. And like I said, everybody takes it for a joke, but it's really just the knowledge. You know what I mean? So that was my thing with Chris. I was just talking to him about it, and I was just saying, you know, it would be great if there was ways we could just like give out certain things. But I do understand, like, you don't want to give everything to everybody.
Yeah.
Because there's people who will try to take advantage of it. But at the same time, like, that's something that could be easily fixed.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got like a lot of thoughts on that too, because like, well, for me, like I like doing black and gray, but I do black and gray mostly because that's just like what I like aesthetically. But as a result, I would actually say most of my clients have darker skin tones. Like I don't.
You did somebody.
Today. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like just the other day, and like it doesn't really matter as much to me, like really at all, like what somebody's skin tone is. Maybe like slightly, like I'll do more contrast or less contrast or something, but it's more or less the same. But yeah, your client asked me about it yesterday, and like it kind of just caught me off guard. 'Cause she was like, eat the ink," and I was like, eat the ink? Like, what do you mean it'll eat the
Yeah,
ink? And
and
like I've
those
seen,
type of expressions, you hear them so often.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
new either.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and like I think what I was gonna say is like I've seen Chris tattoo so many people with like all kinds of different skin tones, and like I've seen them come back healed, and they're like great, like super great, you know. And like I was thinking about what you were saying a minute ago, where like people will say like nah, like I won't do it or whatever, which I think is like not great, because I think that you should always like, if somebody's really wanting something and it's like possible, I think that is good. But I think if somebody doesn't have the knowledge that you have, or like Chris has, or somebody else, like in some cases I think it probably isn't a great idea for them to be like, yeah bro, like or run it, because like I've seen that go horribly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
You
seen
know?
that go very wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the thing is like, if you're incapable of doing a job, just say that you personally can't do it. Like
Yeah.
there's
But a
nothing
lot of
wrong
them
with
are
that.
really prideful, you know that.
I know, and like, I just think people need to let go of it, man.
They
Because
go
like,
hard, like
if you aren't capable of doing something, then it's better to just say, hey, I personally can't do this. But you shouldn't say it's impossible, or just when artists come up with like these fictional reasons for like why shit doesn't work, just because they're incapable of doing it, it just hinders things.
Yeah, it's really
And
frustrating.
it perpetuates these stereotypes. You know what I mean? And like,
you answered your own question. That's exactly how we got there.
that's true.
And I've had my clients, like, I'll be in the middle of a black and gray tattoo, and they're like, yeah, man, like, I'm really pumped for it. They're like, I kind of wish I could have done color, but, like, I got black and gray. And I'm like, you know, I know they're pumped for the tattoo, and they always like it at the end, but I'll be like during the tattoo, be like, well, you can do color. Like, if you want black and gray, like, great, but, like, you can do a color tattoo. You know, you tell them, like, you know, talk to Chris, like, ask him or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Well, realistically, it just comes down to like, you just need to understand, like, the complexion of the person you're tattooing. You can tattoo. You good?
Yeah.
You can tattoo anybody. Good job. You can tattoo anybody in color.
Yeah.
You just have to be smart about the way that you apply it, right? It's like Vaughn was saying. We had a conversation about like, if you want a tone to look a certain way, you need to like mix it down, right? So there are just certain colors that typically don't heal well on certain like skin colors, and it has nothing to do with the person's like the color of their skin. What?
I was gonna touch on that.
Okay. 1 second. Let me say this.
Yeah.
Sorry. What it has to do with is you have to think about the skin like a filter, right? We kind of touched on this last week because we talked about cover-ups, and you have to think about it like a filter because your skin is transparent. Whatever color the filter is, you have to think about the way that pigment's going to sit. Because I'll do a tattoo, right? And it doesn't matter. I will do it the same. Like, think about it. I could do it the same way. But if you put a filter on it, it's going to negate certain colors. So you just have to know what colors will show up through that filter. So if I put like, you know, if I just packed a bunch of white, right? Once that filter's on it, it's not white anymore.
Yeah.
It just kind of is what it is,
It's
right?
like yellow.
So to compensate with that, I can use like an off-white, and it will look more white. You just have to be sparing in the way that you do things. Like I normally leave like more skin tone. Like if like how Vaughn was saying, like if I'm doing an anime character, and I'm doing like just any character. doesn't
Kim
matter.
Possible.
If I'm doing whatever, if I'm doing Kim Possible, and if there's like shading, right? So if it's like block shaded and it's like 2 tones, the darker part, I'm just gonna do the actual raw color that is that, and then for the lighter part, I'm just gonna leave the skin tone.
Yeah, let it
'Cause
breathe.
Yeah, let it breathe. It's gonna heal better. It's gonna look better, and you're not like if I pack like Vaughn said, like peach into it, then like once you put the filter on it, then it's just gonna be a darker version or a darker like
Burnt brown.
yeah, and it's like a darker version of that person's complexion because you just took this color, packed it on top of their natural skin color, so you made the natural color darker. So all of a sudden, Kim Possible is like this like weird off shade. Like
Yeah.
just do the one tone. You have to like work smarter.
Yeah. Just play to the.
I think knowledge is the biggest key to all that. But like I said, I think pride is the biggest problem. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, people really don't want to admit they're bad at something. And it sounds like, well, why not? But I mean, like, realistically, like, everybody sucks to begin with.
Yeah.
And then, like, accepting that suck is what help you get better in a sense. But like people really do not like accepting that stuff, especially like when they reach a certain level of artistry. They feel like, hey, look, I'm here. I'm doing this, that, and the third. These people know me. These people love me. They love what I do. Why should I have to change to make this one person happy?
You should change to make yourself better.
Yeah.
There it is. And your job is to make that one person happy
Yeah.
every day. Like whoever you deal with, whoever's in front of you, you're like the McDonald's of like this tattoo right now. Like when they pull up to the window and they want fries and a shake, if you tell them the shake machine's down, they're gonna be pissed because they got off of work and they wanted that fucking shake. So your
They've been
job is
waiting
to
for the
give
shake
them-
for a year.
Yeah,
And
like
guess what?
the McRib.
Oh my god.
The
Seasonal
fucking
item.
McRib. Yeah.
And
bro.
all you got to do is go out and read the manual and figure out how the shake machine works.
That's it.
And it's out there. Just talk to the right person.
Like, I remember back when I got my first tattoo by Chris, probably like 10, 11 years ago. My best friend, darker dude, like
We talking like Wesley Snipes or like
maybe like a shade lighter. Shout out to my friend Dylan. I love you, man.
your
I
black
remember
Dylan.
Dylan saw it and he was like, man, that's awesome. I could never get something like that. And I
hear
was
that
like,
so much.
he's like, I'm too dark for it. And he would go on about this and he was just like, he was bummed about it. And I was like, dude, talk to Chris about it. And he was like, man, he's just going to tell me it won't work, man. It's just not going to work. And I was like, nah, dude. Call Chris on the phone. Chris was like, bro, I can make something work for you. It's just, I have to change it.
Yeah.
And, like, this is not, like, new knowledge. Like,
Yeah.
it's been around. Just people are scared to
I had
try.
somebody show me somebody who we all know as far as their work goes, and they're very popular, amazing artists. Matter of fact, forget it. Shout out to Mike from Sad Fam.
Mhm.
If
Dude,
he's
shout out
listening, yeah, plug in. Shout out to Mike. You're a great artist. But she was like, I never see him tattoo anybody dark. And I was like, but he does it all the time. I defended
He
him.
does. Yeah.
I defended him. I was like, he does it all the time. It's just, like, people don't pay attention to it because it happens it doesn't happen, like, frequently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you scroll through, you can see it. Like him, JP, all of them, Geo.
Yep.
All
them.
the time.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, she's like, I really love his work. And I'm like, go to Mike. And she's like, I just don't know if he can do it. Like all these vapor tattoos that he does, are these colors going to look the same? I was like, trust me. Mike has been doing this long enough to where he knows exactly what he's doing. You may not feel like it, but he knows exactly what he's doing. Please go to Mike.
Yeah.
Like, try it out.
Mhm.
But that fear is engraved in her.
I hate that, man.
That's ridiculous.
Like, it's engraved.
We could be so much further along in this process if people just didn't have this preconceived notion of, it ain't going to work, so I ain't going to try.
Yeah.
That and the fraternity mindset. I mean, if you're not in the clique, I don't need to teach you anything.
Can't teach you.
Yeah,
That's a really big thing.
that's
Yep.
the biggest. I'm
Actually,
telling you, that's the
It's a
biggest
huge
thing.
I'll
I've been-
joke. I'll be shaving somebody, but this is a trade secret. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
People will be like that. They'll be like, man, I ain't going to teach you how to do that, man. Like, that's a trade secret. Like, you pay for me for these shaving lessons right now. I'm like, bro, chill the fuck out.
No, that's real shit. Like I've been doing this, like I said, 10 years. 10 years starting off unprofessionally, and then 8 years professionally, like getting all my licenses and everything. And it took me literally until 6 months ago to have some knowledge put in my head. So if you think about it, this is 10 years of not knowing how to do something and not practicing it, not spending time on it, not learning the tricks and the ins and the outs of it. Now imagine if I had this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If somebody had sat me down and been like, hey, Vaughn, this is what you can do because you're going to deal with this dynamic that I'm not going to deal with.
Mhm.
And I may have this information that you don't have. I probably would have been, well, not what I would have been, but like, it would have been better.
Yeah.
It could have been better. Everything could have been better. So,
Well, the difference is, like, you weren't afraid to just, like, reach out and ask.
hell no. For everybody that's wondering, I bothered Chris for like 3 seconds and he replied fast. But Chris was on my list of like 15 people who I inboxed begging for a seminar. And I mean, legit, hey, will you do a seminar? I was literally, before Chris said yes, I was booking my flight to Poland to try to go learn from somebody in Poland.
Were you?
Yes, I was dead ass serious. I was going to go to Poland, sit with him for a day, and then I also was going to pay for another seminar that was online from this guy named Peter. He's really good. He's signed with like FK Irons or whatever.
Okay.
And I'll send you all their Instagrams.
Yeah.
And it was like $1,200 for an online seminar. Like, think about it. You're paying $1,200 to look at a screen.
Mm-hmm.
So people can tell you stuff that somebody else won't tell you.
Yeah.
When literally I could just
And
go
don't
sit.
you dare record that session.
Oh please, but you best believe I was gonna have my other phone like propped to the side recording everything. But I paid
You know
$1,200, right? Yeah, you know me. I'm gonna get my money's worth. Fuck them kids. You know me. That's a joke, everybody. I promise. But yeah, like
Shut up.
no facts. But like
You know him.
seriously, all jokes aside, like I was willing to go that far to learn, and like I said, pride will stop people from going that far to learn, and complacency will stop people from going that far to learn. But more importantly, people will stop people from going that far to learn. If people next to you are telling you you can't do it, you're gonna feel like you can't do it, because a lot of people told me no. Chris just happened to tell me yes. Now I'm on a podcast. You know what I mean? Like
Boss
literally
has been hanging out.
yeah, like this has been like a great experience. Like my friends are calling me like, you're a celebrity now. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my god.
No.
Lon's
Like-
gonna go back home and be like, "What's up, bitches?"
No.
You know
Have
me.
my red carpet rolled out. Like you know
Rolled
me.
out,
You know
you know me.
exactly who I am now. Like blue check me, please. But no, like that's literally what it is. And I like I said, once again, I want to appreciate everybody here. I appreciate Chris for giving me the knowledge. But like, I wish like we could just take days out the week and like, hey, come learn.
Mhm.
But everybody wants to get paid. Nobody wants to just like teach. And I think things would be a lot better if people taught, because there's a lot of people out here just trying shit. I see it on TikTok every day. Tattooed myself today. I'm like, yeah, okay, hepatitis.
Mhm.
Have fun.
That's cool, dude. That you got that stick figure for the
Yeah,
95th
like,
day in a
little
row. But
Go
Staph
crazy.
infection, no
Yeah.
big deal.
No gloves, no nothing. And then the same people
Bro.
will ask, I get it all the time on my comments. Will you teach me how to tattoo? I'm like, inbox me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you no. I'm going to tell you the process. If you don't like the process, then just don't do it. I can't help you with that. But, I'll at least give you something. I'll point you somewhere if I can't help
get you a resource.
something, you know what I mean? But there needs to be more of that. A lot of that. The tattoo community is really me-ish, not we-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I just think people need to be less afraid to like broach subjects, because I don't know, like with the skin tone thing, like people are so afraid to ask those questions, that's why I get comments all the time where people are asking me about that.
In all fairness, a lot of tattoo artists can be really like
No, like big
assholes
dick.
about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
That's, that's
I
not,
just even mean like between artists.
No, that's
it still applies.
Yeah,
to that.
it
still
still
applies.
applies.
Like, yeah.
Like I told you, Chris, like you were literally, not to be funny, you're like number 3 on the list because I was going through people.
Damn, you weren't even.
No,
number
it wasn't.
one,
It
bro.
wasn't like a. It wasn't like a
Don't
who's
care.
better thing. It was just a matter of like
Mhm.
who I see and who I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like by the time I got to you, even though you were number 3, I sent a message to like 10 people.
Mhm.
You were just the third one to answer.
Mhm.
It was 2 no's. After you replied, it was literally rest no. Everybody else was like no, like straight no's. I had one person laugh at me on live because they said they would never do a seminar.
Why?
Because I asked them about it on the live.
That's the same kind of person. You'll ask them what needle they're using. They'll be like, "I can't tell you that."
No, seriously. That's exactly how the conversation went. I was like, so what are you doing with this and the third? Like, do you do seminars? I just want to learn from you. He was like, like I would ever do something like that. And I'm like, bro, what?
I feel like people think that doing that is like taking money out of their pocket, and it's like, no, dude. We're like,
Bro, there's so much money to go around.
Yeah, I actually was told a story about that by my friend Armani. He's a tattoo artist from, I think he's in Detroit or something like that.
shout out to Detroit.
Yeah, but he was telling me how like everybody's so afraid to get beat. Like if I teach you, like Chris, if you taught me your tricks of your trade, which you do, but I mean if you taught me that and I adapted and I add my little twist to it,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden you're just running out of clients. Like that's exactly what's gonna happen within the next week or so of you teaching me. Like you're just gonna be shit out of clients for the rest of your life.
That's just such a soft mentality.
But
Me?
that's what he was saying. That he's literally had to fight through the tattoo industry because of that mentality.
Bro, you're only gonna get better if you have competition.
Me and Chris had this conversation the other day. Was like,
That's what
bro,
he
what if
said.
some wild thing happened and I got more clout than you? He'd be like,
Cool.
sick.
Yeah, like,
Honestly though, like Chris has said this to me before too. Like whenever he was teaching me to tattoo, he was like he had to like walk me through a lot of stuff when I was like first doing it, like even just like pulling lines or like packing black or something. And he was like, there's so many things that he just like didn't like, not that he wasn't thinking about it, but like it's just like an automatic thing.
yeah.
And he was like in the process of like teaching you stuff. He's like, I actually kind of like learned some like you know what I mean,
Or
like
refreshing.
he got
Yeah.
better, I guess, or you said that there were things that he maybe was like able to like reapproach or something because he had to go back and show somebody. So I'm sure it kind of still applies.
Yeah, you get
If you're
better
answering
from teaching.
questions or teaching people, you probably develop yourself.
I was teaching Josh how to set up,
Better
and I was like,
at
damn,
it,
dude,
probably.
like I can walk this through, and I don't have to like second guess it anymore.
Yeah.
I can just do it.
He's a pro.
Yeah.
I can set that shit up. I can break it down.
Armani's concept was, why not be the person that creates the person to beat you? Like, you're afraid of the monster, but you made the monster.
That's
No,
pretty
Dude,
cool.
what if you teach somebody to tattoo and like they're amazing and they're like, yeah, my mentor was Chris.
And that's what he was saying. He was like, don't be the person who's afraid to make Frankenstein. Like, you made Frankenstein.
Yeah.
No, I want literally like on this side of the room, like everyone who I've like taught, like I want all of them to be
I mean,
well
shit,
known.
I'm in there too, bro.
Like-
Like, just go ahead.
Bro, you taught mom, but it's okay.
I didn't like teach it from scratch, but like I don't know, I mean like I just want everyone to get better. You know, like people getting better isn't like hurting me. It's not like a detriment to me. You know what I mean? So if
So-
there are more people doing better tattoos, good.
Would you be opposed to offering that class more frequently?
What, the seminars?
Yeah, like would
Yeah.
you be opposed to like not? I mean, not even because I know you don't care about money. So it's like not even like, oh well, come sit down. Like, would you go like live or would you take people's questions and have them?
Whenever I do lives, I do answer people's questions.
No, yeah, you do. You guys
Um,
do a good job at that.
I think my only thing is, it's kind of like the whole thing we talked about. Like, you don't want to give it to everybody.
Right.
So like, I don't want to give it to kids trying to tattoo out their kitchen.
Mhm.
But if someone's an actual artist, like you are like an established artist, and you were like, hey, like I just kind of like want to learn more about this specific thing and your approach. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, whatever.
I understand that completely.
So if it's someone like in the same camp as you, like, yeah, for sure. Like, message me.
Yes. Yeah.
Your friend Sage hit me up about
Yeah,
doing
shout
it
out
too.
to Player Sage.
Yeah, he's been great. He always
Definitely.
joins the lives and asks me questions. He'll DM me and ask me questions. Like, that's totally fine.
And actually, we had that conversation. He called me one night on FaceTime. It was like 2 a.m, and he was like, "Are you watching this live?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And he was like, "Bro, I'm about to ask hella questions." I said, "Bro, I'm typing right now." And like, this is what we do because at the end of the day, we didn't care about who doesn't like what. We wanted to learn, So it's like, if you're gonna feed us the information, we're gonna sit at the table. And if not, then I'm just gonna find another table.
Yeah, if people like have good questions to ask, then I will give out good answers. Like, I don't, if someone's just gonna like sit there and ask me like stupid questions, like rudimentary ones, like ones that you would learn like in the first like month,
Of tattooing.
then clearly you're like the information I have to give you you're not gonna be able to use it. But if you're far enough along to where like you can understand what I'm talking about and apply it,
You just want them to have the right reasoning behind what they want to know.
yeah, and like I feel like you have to like be at like a certain point in your career to really be able to like apply these things, right?
Yeah.
Because there are things that I taught Mitch, or like that Mitch saw me do like early on, and it meant nothing to him. But now, whenever he looks at it, he's like, "Oh shit, dude!" Like,
let me tell you guys a really quick story actually about that, and you probably already know what I'm gonna say. But there's this time that these two girls came in from somewhere, some out of state thing, at the last shop we worked at, and they were both like, "We want to get Georgia peaches together," and Chris was like,
Was it on their butt?
no.
"No, it wasn't."
Shame on them.
Done plenty of those, but it's God, yeah, that's anyway. It is. This was gonna say that's like
That's
the
an
most
803
common
butterfly,
thing. Someone
but
shows
let's
up
say it
from
over.
like out
I'm
of
gonna say,
state.
yeah, I'm
and they're
just
like,
a
Georgia
visitor."
peach on the butt. Anyway, yeah. So these two girls came in. They were like, "We want to get peaches," and Chris was like, "Cool, I'm gonna draw it, and we're gonna do the same peach." And he was trying to like teach me something with that. And I mean, he was very clear, like with them. He was like, "Yeah, this dude's an apprentice. He's been tattooing for a couple months, but like he can do the tattoo. It's fine." We both did it, and like mine was fine, but it was very simple and like stripped down because like that's what I was capable of. And Chris's was like tricked out into infinity. There's like this red like like I was like these like highlights and shit on it. It was so like it looked great. It was a really good peach, but like it was weird. Like I don't know. You're like, it was weird, like looking at the two things like side by side, like the same thing.
The same stencil.
Yeah.
But see, that's
It was-
the best part about art. Like, you're not Chris, and Chris is not you.
Well,
Right.
the point in the lesson was because Mitch kept coming over and like trying to like look at the colors I was using and this that, and the other.
Yeah, like really quick, he had like this one peach that's like 3 inches. Chris had like 20 caps of ink out. And
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
That's
no-
a- that's
yeah, I had
no,
like
yeah.
5. I was like,
My day one with Chris was definitely 2 rows of caps.
yeah.
It was fire though.
If Chris doesn't take out 15 caps for one tattoo,
I was like, what?
You're
I
not
don't know
really
what's gonna
getting a
happen.
Chris house
Anyway, I didn't mean to
tattoo.
interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. But the whole lesson was like work within your skill set.
Yeah.
Like, and Mitch was trying to overreach.
Like if I'd been
You
asking
know?
questions like, what are you doing with that color blend, bro? Like I've been tattooing for like a couple months.
I know. And so I was trying to hammer home to him, like, if somebody asks you for something and it's outside of your skill set, you need to tell them, like, I can do it, but in this way. And I tried to set him up for success because I was like, hey, here's my portfolio. Here's the way I tattoo. Mitch is an apprentice. Here's his portfolio. That way, both clients agreed. And the client that was getting tattooed by me knew the style. And the client that was getting tattooed by Mitch knew the style. So I was trying to be like, play to your strengths. Do it the way you would do it. Don't do it the way I'm going to do it.
Right.
Do it the way you can do it. And Mitch tried his best to emulate mine.
Right.
And I was like, and afterwards he like it clicked with him. He's like, I was trying to do some crazy shit when I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like all the information I could have given him about doing that peach
Yeah.
was useless to him at that point. If
But
I did
now-
that to him now, he
You would
would get
understand.
it.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a time and a place to get that information.
I agree, because if I would have, I said earlier, if I would have had it, I would have been better. But I did admit my mindset back then was a lot different. I was definitely one of the guys that was like, I can do anything,
all styles, baby.
all styles. You need anything but tribal, because I hate doing right straight
Yeah,
like
The
that.
entire time that I've known you,
You
though,
know
No,
me.
good and well, I could not do none of that shit. Like
Well-
I couldn't do none of that shit.
I think your work's great, and like even now,
Yeah.
you still
yeah.
are like asking
I appreciate
questions
that.
and still like I don't know, you're never like, yeah, bro, like I'm like, you know, like I don't know, you're not like you're like very humble about it and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
which is
then
good.
like you progressively keep getting better. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And like that's really all you can ever ask for.
I'm kind of more grateful that you guys feel that way.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
No, because it's really a thing, man. When you look up to people and people look at you, if that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're looking up to them, like, oh, you're amazing. They're looking at you, like, hey, we're eye to eye here.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you do what you do, I do what we do, but I respect you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really a thing to have you guys all the time. I tell Mitch thinks I'm like the sweetest guy ever, but like I tell him all the time, like I really appreciate you. Mitch always shows love. I always get comments. I always get like little keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, I appreciate you so much, Mitch. You keep doing what you're doing too. And then people tell me like you always share others' work. Like that doesn't bother you? And I'm like, nah.
Why would that bother you?
You'd
Like,
be
what?
surprised. I actually I walked into a shop in South Carolina. I was full of friends who knew me.
Shout out South Carolina.
Not shout out South Carolina. But
Redacted.
they were like, you know, why do you keep sharing people's stuff? Like all these artists are better than you. I said, good. All these artists follow me. I can call them. You know what I mean? That's like a different type of like. It's not to be funny. That's
Vaughn's
a-
about to do this 3-color blend. He's like, let me call Chris.
Yeah, no. You're laughing. Ask Chris how I FaceTimed him. I had him send me 3 different pictures of bottles on his counter for a toga tattoo, and I did decent on it, but I could have done a lot better. If Chris had been sitting by me, I'm pretty sure I would have slaughtered that tattoo. But I call Chris for everything. Like it doesn't seem like it, but I'll be like, hey Chris, I'm about to do this. I'm nervous as shit. So
Please.
He was like, you know that toga tattoo did? How you do that?
yeah, like what flesh tones did you use? I asked him, and he sent me literally like 7 bottles of flesh tones. He had me send him all my bottles of flesh tones, and he circled and picked out which ones I should have used. And like a dumbass, I kind of listened in the beginning. No, but listen, it started off like I can do this, and then I was like, I'm losing this shit. But then like 10 minutes later, it kicked in. I was like, just listen to what the fuck Chris said. Like just dark, light. And that literally saved it. Like the tattoo doesn't look bad, but it's not like beautiful. Now healed, and I can admit that we're not perfect here, But I showed Chris the tattoo today, and he said literally the only thing you could have done better was just like take it one thing at a time, add some stippling here to reduce what you put on it as far as working the skin, and you would have been fine. All the colors are fine. And that's the type of treatment that people need. It doesn't matter how big you are or how much people like you. Like, you have to be willing to have somebody tell you, like, you were okay. You just need to do this. And shit, Chris even talked to me today about adding something to a different style of mine. You know, instead of doing the way I do my black and gray, I try to smoothen things out like a portrait type style. And it works, but I mean, it's hard on skin. It's very hard on skin to consistently try to whip things out. So he was explaining to me I could do more bolder lines, use opaque grays, stipple more. It'll be less trauma on skin, and things will look clearer and heal better. Now, mind you, I'm 10 years in, so why would I listen to Chris? Because that shit's going to fucking help. So when I go home, best believe I'm drawing it. And
Honestly, I would stipple the shit out
hell
of this.
yeah. Like, I'm about to buy a whole new battery pack and all to make sure that, like, I can get to that level, because mine only goes to 5. I need to be like 4 to get the stipple, because he used it yesterday, and it just runs smooth. So I'm going to try it, but why not? You know what I mean? Why not take the leap? Like, what if it pushes my career to a point I would have never reached? What if it teaches me how to pack opaque grays, which will teach me how to pack color a lot smoother?
Oh, it'll help so much.
You see what I'm saying? And he was explaining to me, like, with the way you tattoo, you're doing 2 things at once, and it's going to make you mess up, basically. You're working on, like, black and gray things as far as shading goes, and that's not the style of what you're going to be working on. So if you're going to do something that's more color, like relative or whatever, you want to bounce back and forth, make your black and gray like how you would do your color. Treat it like how you would do your color. Consistently pack the black, the opaque grays, and consistently pack these things. So when you get to a color tattoo, it's not a different motion in your hand. And these are things that I would never think of. Like, I'm sitting in the room like, oh. And for y'all who can't see me, I literally have my hand on my face. I'm like, oh.
Mouth ajar.
Yeah, like, I would never thought of that. And it's just knowledge, you know what I mean? And that's why I love it, man. I can't tell y'all enough. I'm so thankful to be here.
I think the tattoo I'm doing tomorrow is someone who's darker complexion, and I think I'm actually going to do like opaque grays in it.
I will be sitting. Well, until Mitch is ready.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm getting tattooed tomorrow, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got blessed. Mitch was like, I have an opening, and I love you. And I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, anytime you want to come over and watch, it's totally fine.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to chime in and see what's going on.
Please do.
Cool.
It's always a treat.
Well, is there anything else you guys want to say, like, in closing? Like, Vaughn, you got anything else?
Vaughn,
you wanna, like,
hit us with that @ one more time.
Official Vaughn Inks.
Make sure it's the official one.
There's no extra numbers. There's no underscores.
It's a Z.
They can steal my picture, but they can't steal my work. I promise you.
They tried with me, bro.
I actually, believe it or not, I called Chris on that too. I said, Chris, what did you do when you tried this? And he was like, I just ignored them. So I started ignoring them.
Just ignore it.
Just let you know how much I call Chris for everything.
It's all good.
Thank y'all, Nim Brownies. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Thank you to Vaughn.
Mhm.
Thank you to Ashley.
Love y'all.
Yeah, we've loved
Thank you to
having
Josh.
I'm
Ashton
First
tired.
episode. Thank you to Big John. We'll see y'all next week. Fuck Florida.
Welcome, Josh.
You know me.
Fuck
Yeah.
Kid Rock.
Now that you're gone from Florida,
Yo,
Fuck.
fuck Kid Rock for real.
Fuck Kid Rock. Fuck both of
I
them.
hate that guy.
All right, in positive.
Oh, ended on a positive.
Oh.
Vaughn is.
I know some pretty cool people in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We do know.
I know some okay folk.
Some-
Vaughn's here. I'm excited that Vaughn's here. I'm
That's
sad
what I was
Vaughn's
gonna
leaving
say,
tomorrow.
Yeah, we get.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we have like one more day with Vaughn. That'll be good.
I'm really glad you guys. I mean, even though we're supposed to do this like tomorrow, I'm still gonna stay all day tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
So-
Hell yeah, man.
It's cool. Trust me. I've been saying it since I'm so blessed to be here. Like, I didn't even care about not working today. I got a chance to sit, kick it, and laugh with y'all. And
You know
I will
me.
be here. They definitely gonna know me. You know me. But yeah, I will be here as much as I can. I am in the process of trying to fulfill my dreams, open up my own shop. But I won't let that stop me from coming by. I'll
Yeah.
make sure I do what I can to get here.
Yeah, if you ever need any help with like stuff with opening a shop, I've been through it.
Oh, I know. Shit, I was picking Chris's brain today, running numbers with him and asking him stuff just to get like insight. But yeah, thank you guys again. I really, really appreciate y'all guys. I can't say that enough. You guys have been like family. In the short period of time that you've known me, you haven't treated me any less than you treated the people who you've been with for years, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, no, we're close.
Damn, bro, I'm gonna hug the
No,
fuck out of you.
yeah. We're
I think Michael's tearing up right now.
Yeah, no, Michael is like the sweetest guy
Okay.
I ever heard. He makes people meatloaf who don't appreciate him. And we're ending on that right there.
Damn, Von's like, cut it right there. Shots fired.
Redacted.
Yeah, I know how to throw shots and run away.
My man's a shooter. He's like, pop, pop, pop.
Shoot or shoot, my boy. Shoot or shoot.
Ah.
Yeah.
The you know me counts up.